Airbnb, Uber, when you think of those companies, you think disruptors, right?
Yeah.
We've got an expert waiting in the wings who deals with big established companies, how they battle, how do they compete with the disruptors, how to survive the whole digital era. It's really interesting.
Right.
I'm getting wrapped up.
Resilience. Okay.
Okay, Uber, Airbnb, and Impossible Foods, they're some of the best known disruptors, right? Companies that have come along and turned an established industry on its head. Now, whilst that might be bringing in the cash flooding in for them, not so good news for those that they've displaced. So how do big companies cope with being disrupted? Let's find out. Dr. Gero Decker is the big boss, the CEO of Signavio. I got it right?
Correct.
Yeah. Good to see you, Doc. Thanks for coming in. So listen, just to explain, you deal not with the disruptors, but with the established companies and how to, I guess, battle the disruptors, right?
We actually deal with both,
okay,
but mostly with the established companies. That's correct.
And how do you do it? How does a company today, I guess it's all about surviving in the digital era, isn't it?
Well, digital is driving a lot of the change, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you look at the companies of Uber and Airbnb, it's very interesting because they didn't invent a drastically new product.
No.
It's rides, it's you know, accommodation. But what they've dramatically changed is leverage the power of digital to create new experiences and to be much closer to the customer and understand much closer what the customer needs and execute on that.
Right. So, because some will question, why didn't the likes of, you know, one of the big hotel chains come up with this idea, or another transport company?
And it's fascinating. You look at Hilton, Marriott, all of these big chains, for instance, when they started, they were probably the most customer-oriented, customer-centric organizations. But this seems to be lost along the way. So the number one rule for established players is to come back to that customer obsession, to really ask yourself, what does the customer want? How do these customer journeys look like? What are the moments of truth? Where can you delight? Where will you frustrate?
And is it also a case, I don't know whether or not, I don't know, you tell CEOs this or not to fear, but to learn, not to fear it, learn from it.
No, absolutely, absolutely. But it's a fine line because you have a running business that you're making money on, right? Why place all of these big bets on something that is probably unknown, untested, unvalidated, right? So it's also about this, you know, having these new initiatives and then scaling them up fast enough, but at the same time, not, you know, risking everything that you have on something that you don't know yet.
So are you saying that it takes a courageous, if you will, a bold CEO to listen to, I guess, your advice and to make the changes needed?
But here's something very interesting. People think it's this genuine idea that you need to have, waking up at night and then you know, having this bold move and pushing it through. But the reality is actually is very different, because understanding the customer is a technique, is a methodology. But the challenge is not so much about crafting the perfect experience. You can do that in a 2-day workshop. You can have your research teams out there. The hard piece is, how do you get that into an operational reality? So where most companies struggle is not to have these great ideas or think ahead into the future, but actually take a company with 10,000, 50,000 people and change their behavior, change the company, and make it a reality what you want to have.
You've got 5 seconds. What industries? Rattle them off. 3 industries that are going to be changed or disrupted coming up.
Financial services, big time. Automotive, but also high tech. Even those companies, even those people started in digital, they need to keep up.
Dr. Gero Decker, thank you very much. First time on telly, did one, it was not difficult, was it? Easy, easy.